David speaking.
Hello, yes. Are you one of the pastors? And this is Mustapha speaking.
Just one second here. Now, say it again. I'm sorry.
Are you one of the pastors? And this is Mustapha speaking.
Your name is what?
Mustafa.
Mustafa. This is David Morris, one of the pastors here. Yes.
Yeah. So, I have something to ask about the Bible. So, anyways, one of the main issues I've been struggling is the authenticity of the Bible, how it's like authentic and all that. And I've read like a lot of different viewpoints, and as someone who values historical accuracy, I'm concerned about how reliable the Bible is, considering it was written over so many centuries and through various translations. So, how can we be sure that what we have today is the same as the original texts?
Well, that's a great question. I think through textual criticism, which is a science of kind of studying, ancient scriptures and ancient writings, we can be pretty confident that we have a reliable scripture, is my opinion. There are, numerous manuscripts. We do not have any of the original autographs, the original writings, obviously, but we have many copies, and when you compare those copies, they are very, very close to each other. So the scribes took meticulous attention to that detail, and over the centuries, reproduce the Bible accurately, we believe.
All right, I understand that there are many manuscripts, but one thing I still struggle is how we can be sure that the translations we have today reflect the original message accurately. For example, what if the translations and edits over time have altered the core meaning of a text or introduced the concepts that were originally there?
Well, translation is another issue. It's taking those words and translating them as best they can into equivalent of English or Spanish or German or whatever. But there are numerous translations. Some are more strict in word for word, like the King James Version or the New American Standard Version, or the Revised Standard Version. Others are more dynamic and are translating more of the fault of what those words are saying, to communicate maybe a little bit more clearly. Like the New International Version, paraphrases like the Message or the Living Bible, take it more of a translating the concept.
I'm familiar with the New Eternal Version of the Bible. I have done some analyzation. I'm with the New Eternal Version of the Bible. I'm familiar with that. I've done an analyzation of that. So, anyways, my next question is how does salvation work? Is it by faith alone, or are good works necessary for salvation? Can someone be saved without explicitly believing in Jesus Christ?
Salvation is God's deal. It's between us and God, and I do believe it's by grace. That none of us deserve it. None of us can earn it through faith in Jesus Christ. That's my view of it. And Jesus said in John chapter 14, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." So, in some way, Jesus is involved obviously, in all of our salvations. But we, there's that step of faith that we need to take and belief in who Jesus is and what He did for us.
All right, understood. Did Jesus literally rise from the dead, or is a resurrection a symbolic or a metaphorical event? What does this resurrection mean for the Christian hope and the afterlife?
Yeah, I think the resurrection was an actual bodily resurrection. He appeared to over 500 people after he was raised. There's numerous accounts of people who saw him after his resurrection. So I think it was ultimate miracle, and that Jesus did rise physically from the dead.
Okay, understood. How do I say this? Can faith and reason coexist, or are they in conflict? Is it reasonable to believe in things like miracles or the supernatural, or should we rely solely on empirical evidence and logic?
I think that they can coexist. You know, Scripture defines faith as the evidence of things hoped for, the conviction of things that are not seen. In Hebrew, so there is a faith factor that we must step into. But I think looking at the empirical evidence of Scripture and historical reliability of Scripture, I think there's that reason is definitely part of it too. We can come to faith with confidence in what God has said.
All right, and last question. How do I say this? Just give me a minute here. So, my last question is what happens to those who don't believe in Jesus Christ? Are they condemned to eternal separation from God, or is there a path to salvation outside of Christianity?
I would hold to a view that it's through Jesus. However, all that works. I am not completely sure. There is reference to hell and separation from God in Scripture, but I'm not one that would condemn everyone to hell. Jesus, it's God's job. He'll figure it out, and since I believe He's a just and loving, perfect God, that it will be according to His will.
Okay, I think we're gonna stop it here. So let me tell you this: I am a Muslim who usually engages in dialogue with Christians to question about their faith. I've studied the Christian faith for like 5 years, and I just want to like make some follow-ups. When the book that I believe in, when it talks about the gospel and the Torah, this gospel is revealed to the Muslim version of Jesus, and how do I say this? We view in my religion we view that Jesus is a prophet. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right, yes.
All right. Before I go, any questions, concerns?
No.
All right. I'm gonna let you go, sir. It was nice talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and God bless you in your studies and search. Okay.
Okay. Bye bye. All right. So we just talked to the some pastor from Hope Church in Tennessee, in the state of Tennessee. He was respectful.